From Texas high school to $60,000 a year. The Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners rocks. What they have done, they've created a new career path, and we're going to talk about it in this video. Hey guys, please watch this all the way to the end and leave me a comment. If you're a plumber, I want to know what you think about this. What do you think of someone going through high school, learning plumbing, and getting out and becoming a tradesman? I want to know your thoughts on it. And if you're in the trades right now, you're an apprentice, or maybe you're in high school. I get a lot of high schoolers watching that want to be plumbers. Let me know what you think about this. Please watch it all because I really want to know what your thoughts are. So in Texas, you can now literally walk out of high school, take your tradesman exam, and make $60,000 a year. That's pretty unheard of. But if you've never been here before, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on anything. So first of all, let's talk about House of Representatives, Matt Schaefer. Matt Schaefer represents Smith County, which is Tyler, Texas, around Tyler, Texas. This is why Tyler's off to a jump start, and I love it.
Because of red tape and strict regulations over the years, Texas has not opened up the plumbing industry to enough people. And that is going to change with this new law.
2 years ago, in the 86 legislation, tried doing something similar to this. Now, I tried getting in touch with his office back then because I think this is phenomenal. Can you imagine setting up a curriculum, aligning a syllabus to where students can literally go to high school, learn plumbing, and when they graduate, they can go take their tradesman exam. Now, Matt Schaefer's been pushing for this, and I think this is great because here's what this does. In the last few years, whether it is due to hurricanes, whether it is due to freezing, whatever it is, we don't have enough plumbers in Texas. And just to bring a plumber into Texas isn't happening. I mean, it does, but it takes time. You get them a temporary license, then they've got to schedule an exam. There's a lot of hoops to go through, but we're Texas, we want things done right. So I completely agree with it. But here's the deal, we still don't have enough plumbers. So what Texas has just done between the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, the TEA, and Matt Schaefer, they have actually created a career path to get into plumbing so much easier.
Amendment added to House Bill 636 by Texas House Representative Matt Schaefer rewrites the law in place of how plumbers get their license.
The law did not allow a high school or community college program to count towards the license.
Previously, students would need 4,000 hours working as an apprentice under the supervision of a master plumber, which could take several years.
Now me, when I went to high school, I wanted to play football, I wanted to do things like that. I didn't know what I was going to be when I got out. But nowadays, due to social media, go figure, people are learning there's career opportunities out there that maybe don't include college. This is a great entryway for them. So here's what they've done. They have literally created a 3-year plan, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, but they've created a 3-year plan where you can walk into certain high schools that choose to take this on. You can walk in, you've got a 3-year plan, you have a syllabus to where when you're done, you walk out, you take your tradesman exam. Now, the tradesman exam is a limited plumbing license. You're limited to single family homes and 2-family homes. So no apartment complex, no major construction jobs, no offices, high rises, anything like that. You can still be an apprentice to work on them, but if you really want to make money, you can get your tradesman license and literally go to work for a residential service company or a residential construction company right off the bat.
Okay, at least 2 years off that time frame where you could have young people is in the early 20s, literally owning their own businesses.
Tyler ISD Executive Director of College and Career Gary Brown played a role in the passing.
I had the opportunity, along with one of our local plumbers, to go down and speak before the licensing committee to speak to the benefits of offering this in our high schools, what it would mean to our students, to our program, and ultimately to get more plumbers out into the workforce.
Make sure you hang around to the end because I'm going to tell you not just how they can make $60K a year getting out of school, but they can make up to or over $100,000 a year in just a year or two after that by learning some additional things. So now let's talk about the TEA because they had to be heavily involved in this. Here's things that they've done. A plumber actually has to be part of this program, either as a full-time instructor, as a part-time instructor, or as a consultant. So no matter what school it is, no matter what independent school district it is, they have to work with a plumber. That way we know things get done right. Now, here's the good thing about this. The TEA says, look, we're going to go ahead and waive the fact that you have to have your licenses and certifications as a teacher. We understand that you know plumbing, So we're going to allow that. That makes such a big difference in this because it would not work otherwise. How many plumbers do you know that are going to go to college and get a teaching degree just to come back and teach everything that they already know? So I think what TEA has done, working with Matt Schaefer and, yes, the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, rocks. Now, I got to speak with Frank Denton just the other day to go over this and different parts that maybe I hadn't got to and figured out yet. But the curriculum set up for this is really good. And that's why it's really important to have a plumber involved. Because, I mean, think about it, guys. We're plumbers. We see this a little bit differently. So here's the cool thing. The TEA, Texas State Board of Examiners, and Matt Schaefer, all three got together and figured out how to make this work. Now, my hat's off to everybody. Lisa Hill's right. This is going to help change the outlook for plumbing in the state of Texas because we're going to be able to get more people in quicker. I mean, think about that. We're right here before the last half of the school year. Any schools that start implementing this now, aligning with a plumber, figuring out this syllabus, this curriculum, getting everything in place, literally freshmen this year could say, look, I want to go ahead and be a plumber. That's what I want to do. When they graduate 3 years from now, they can have a limited tradesman plumbing license. Now, what does this mean for plumbers? Look, guys, we're going to get more people into the trades quicker now. 3 years from now, the schools that are doing this right, think about it. If 3 years from now, we had 20% more tradesmen plumbers, that takes a load off us. This is better for the residents of Texas because now, look, what I've been preaching for years, plumbers are going to be making $100 an hour. I don't see this changing that. Maybe it lowers it a little bit. Maybe they're making $80 an hour. But here's why. We're going to have to take time to build this into the schools. We're going to have to take time to promote it to students to get them to want to get into it. But I truthfully think a lot of these communities, we can walk in and say, you can have a job making $52,000 to $60,000 to, God, maybe $60,000, $70,000 a year 3 years from now. Why wouldn't students want to do that?
Student would be able to start this program and go into high school or go into community college, and when they were finished, take the tradesman plumber license and be making easily $20 an hour right off the bat.
I just want to take a minute and say thank you. Thank you to, number one, Lisa Hill. The Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners has gone through the ringer the last, I'm going to say 3 or 4 years. This is really stepping up. The other thing is Frank Denton, who was just recently appointed the chair of the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners. And to be the chairman on the board is great, but man, you have made things happen. And I just want to say thank you for that. And guys, you're going to hear me say it. I want to say thanks to Governor Abbott. Allowing things like this to happen, it all falls under his watch. And I mean, think about it. He appointed Frank. They wouldn't even interview me, which I tried, but nothing against that, man. You've done good. So Lisa Hill, Frank Denton, Governor Abbott, I appreciate everything y'all have done. Matt Schaefer, brother, I want to shake your hand. You have done good. You have looked for the interest of plumbing while other people just tried to eliminate plumbers. So I want to say thank you for everything you've done. I really think if you're a plumber in Texas, you need to start reaching out to the high schools around you. Reach out to the school districts. Make sure they're aware of this. I have already sent an email to GISD and Dallas County Community Colleges saying, look, y'all got a great thing going here. I would love to help y'all with it. Man, make this thing happen. Recruiting is something we all need to be doing. And I want you to know this makes it amazing because now you have an opportunity to get in right here before high school and say, look, this is something I want to do. You start looking at aligning it. Then when you come into your freshman year, you tell your counselors, look, I want to eventually join the plumbing program. What do I have to do to get things lined up and ready? Now, another cool thing is they've made it where people that graduate high school and want to get in the trades can either go to a trade school or a community college that have adapted another curriculum. It's a 15-hour training program. So in about 1.5 years, you can come through and get your tradesman license. You're going to have to go through the course and you're still going to have to take the test, but they've cut that time down if you will go through an approved training program. This is phenomenal. Anything that cuts the time down between where you start and the most money you can make is beneficial to you. I hope you get this. And another great thing, literally in January, Texas is opening a new testing facility in Waco. I want to go down to video it, to show it, because this is a new testing facility because a lot of people were complaining about students having to go to Austin. So how do you go to make that extra money? If you graduate as a tradesman, if you get out of high school as a tradesman and you get a job, now start learning good things. Start learning soft skills better. Learn leadership, learn management, learn construction management. There's things that you can do to help move you up that ladder. And those are the things you want to do. Please don't fail yourself and think, okay, look, I have a license, I'm a professional, I'm good. Never stop learning. Always try to learn your way up. So here's the opportunity for you. If you're in Texas, start talking to your high school now. Talk to your counselor. Talk to your school district. If you're not in Texas and you want to be a plumber, it might be a good time to talk to mom and dad and say, hey, I'd really like y'all to move to Texas. I want to go to high school and become one of the best plumbers in the United States. Do me a favor, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. And if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on anything. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the Expert Plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.